Hello again, JT Morris students. It's Edward Keenan, the author of The Art of the Possible, and I hope you've been finding the first couple of chapters interesting. I hope you've learned what politics is, why it's important, why it affects you, and why you might want to pay attention and be involved. In Chapter 3, we're going to talk even more about why you might want to be involved and how you might start getting involved when we talk about the most important things in politics. And the very most important thing we're about to read is public opinion. Public opinion means what you think and what your neighbor thinks and what everybody altogether thinks. When we think about politics, we think, well, somebody who's been elected, or somebody in a different system like a king or a queen or an empress, might just make the decisions. But those people who are in charge of making decisions, they have a very important thing to pay attention to, and that is what the public thinks. Because if the public thinks badly of those decisions in a democracy like in the United States, they could get voted out of office at the next election. Not only that, not only will they lose their jobs, but whoever gets elected next will just change the laws to something that the people like better. Even in a dictatorship, even with a king or an all-powerful leader, they have to worry that the people are going to rise up in a revolution, or are going to ignore their laws, or are going to break their laws. So they have to pay attention to what the public thinks. The most important thing about public opinion, then, is making arguments that convince other people to agree with you. We often think about arguments as a bad thing, right? A kind of fight. But when we talk about it as a discussion, where different people who have different ideas share those ideas with each other and try to convince each other of why they think the way they do, then it is very productive. And it's also very important. It's the key element of how we make decisions together, is by convincing each other that we're right, or being convinced by other people that they're right, that a certain way of doing things is the right way to do things. We do that in the schoolyard with a group of friends when we're trying to decide what game to play. We do that in a classroom with our teachers all the time when we're trying to decide how something should be done or whether something should be done. And we do it as a society when we're making big decisions about how we live together. In the next couple of chapters, you're going to learn a bit more about public opinion and how important it is, how important arguments and discussions are to forming public opinion, and how you can be better at listening to arguments and understanding them and evaluating them and making them yourself. And I hope that's something that you're going to be able to put into action very soon.